Let's just move past Gen 6. It's too
Hi
long
everyone.
right
Wrong
now.
layout.
Hi.
There's the right layout. What's up, everybody? And before anyone asks, no, I do not have the VTuber model up. I couldn't be bothered to set it up while doing this.
Anyway, moving on.
So,
No.
we ended at the very start of Gen 7. Decidueye can go right here with its little friends. Not getting one. No chance in hell.
Because they just did Heat Sweep form, they definitely would not give it another Legends form.
Yep.
No.
Litten line. It is a possible.
Has a high possibility for a few reasons.
Yeah.
One, they've clearly, and they've stated this, they've been listening. They've been watching what people have been saying. And people wanted the Incineroar line to stay down on 4 legs. So I could see them giving us a variant on all 4s.
I'm gonna put Litten and, well, hold on. I gotta put Litten and Torracat down low.
Yeah, put them down low.
Just because we have to follow precedent of what they've done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I would love an Incineroar on all 4s. I'm wondering what typing they'd make it. Because Ghost doesn't make sense.
No. Because, I mean, they did a Castilian Typhlosion. It was Fire Ghost.
Well, they did Fire, Water, Grass, Ghost, Fighting Dark. And they made kind of a reciprocating trio in reverse.
So,
yeah.
Looking at our top 3 choices, which are Superior, wait, no. Oh, yeah. So, between Superior and Meganium. Let's go with Meganium first. Because we do need to discuss this. Meganium and Polion and Incineroar. What would their second
I
ones?
would see...
I don't see Fairy at all. And I don't see Fairy because I think it would be too close to
similar
a different generation one with yeah.
Here's a thought. What about Dragon?
I could see Dragon because of its a
dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I could see that becoming, and I could see Dragon the same for Superior. For same reason.
Yes. I agree.
Okay. Here's a curveball. Maybe ground for Meganium? I don't know.
I don't see any possibility.
Personally don't see it.
I don't know. Or rock, I don't know.
I was about to say, what if they do Dragon, Grass? Because the Grass one didn't have anything super, it didn't have any... We're going to be doing this a bit different.
The thing is, other than Mega Forms, I don't think, excluding maybe a future Mon, they're gonna give a starter a Dragon type.
I don't know, because they did it to Charizard's Mega.
They did it to Charizard Mega and Sceptile's Mega, but I said with the exception of Megas.
That's about it.
But they only gave it to their Mega forms.
But they also only just started doing starter forms, so... in terms of this, so I wouldn't rule it out. If we're talking another typing besides that... Number 1, Dragon's my top pick. Let's throw that out. But secondary, if it wasn't Dragon... let's actually look at the types here. Because you guys said not Fairy.
I don't see Fairy for the simple reason there's another flower Fairy based Mon in the region that's native to that region. I don't think they'll do that.
Right, no. Florges isn't grass, it's pure Fairy.
We're not talking about we're not talking about the grass type. We're talking about just the fairy type in general, because it is a flower that is fairy type. They'd keep its same general thing with the thought of a flower, really, because they all kept core aspects of their design, whether it be some armor pieces from. I just think it's too similar, and I don't think it would cause drastic enough change adding to that.
As I said, that's why I recommended Dragon. If we want a different drastic change, though, I'm trying to think. What was Decidueye super fight? It was Samurott, right?
I really don't see fairy for this one. It could be on one of the others.
I don't see it for any of the others whatsoever. Meganium's the only one that would even remotely make sense to have fairy type. And I feel like this being Kalos, I could see them doing it. But another secondary to that and Dragon, something personally I would like to see how they do it. I'd like to see Ice type.
I could see it within like an ice flower growing out of the neck. But
yep.
I think that would have to be a more substantial change than the last set.
I think, unlike some of the others, it would require a bit more of a design change to make Meganium faster and hit harder more than a Pokemon. Because otherwise, it would turn into an Abomasnow situation.
Both of the others, all of the other examples, are all of the Eeweemons offensive?
I'm pretty sure. Besides, like,
yeah. The only one that might be defensive is Samurai, because I know the other two definitely
are. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Let me look at stat totals. Give me a moment. Yeah, Decidueye is offensive.
I think that's regular Decidueye.
Still
we had
offensive.
A picture of regular Decidueye at the time. Okay.
I would say it has both.
It's different offensive, I believe, but yeah.
Now, looking at Samurott.
Samurott's the only one that could be defensive here, because I know...
Nope, Samurott's offensive. And then... You said Typhlosion's offensive.
Typhlosion is especially offensive. Yeah.
Yep. So...
they might be doing something like that, where they made them all offensive. Could this set of starters be all defensive instead?
I don't see that.
I could see them doing it again, where they start taking more, instead of the, well, I don't know. I wouldn't rule it out.
They're gonna go,
it's an interesting thought. It's a very interesting thought.
If they're going to go basic offensive, then it's going to be more of superior than Meganium.
Well, it depends on how they move the stats around.
Well, the thing is, do they want a more drastic change? Because if they want to do a defensive one, opposite to the offensive one, they might go for a more drastic change and go for superior, because it's more offensive than Meganium's.
Yeah. Superior is actually defensive.
Is it?
If I'm not mistaken.
Who's more offensive? Let's start there.
I mean, Superior is more offensive than Meganium, but
it's not hard with Meganium.
Hold on, let's actually look.
Oh well.
And there's a very specific reason.
Actually, Meganium's more offensive than Superior.
Yeah.
And better defensively. Okay. It's more offensive.
Meganium then.
Yeah.
It's all speed, but that's the thing, is there's other stats that could change too. So I think both of them have a chance if that's
why they're in the same team or same tier. I think both of those grass starters have a really, really good chance. And if they want to go defensive but not do drastic change, I think Meganium you go still, because Meganium has higher defenses, if I'm not mistaken, or at least because it has base 100. If you still want another drastic change,
and do drastic change superior. is a thought pattern.
Yes, if they're going drastic design change, but I don't know how they do that with
And
the
then
snake.
the other thing is, other than specifically
Let's
Rowlet, all of the other two were specifically pure too, which was interesting.
yeah.
Until the end. Even at the end, they were pure.
Well, let's get this out the way real quick. If Empoleon's getting anything, it's most likely Ice type.
I don't want it to be that basic though.
The issue
No.
is I think it would work really well if they're making all of them like super offensive for a physical speedy penguin to turn
Okay,
its.
but what's the thought if they're making it super defensive instead?
If they're making it defensive, they won't use Empoleon because
They'd
anything
use
other
Gator?
than they'd have to use Gator. Because if you use Empoleon, Empoleon's already bulky enough and it has the perfect bulky typing. The only thing they could even possibly hope to give it would be Fairy or Grass to make it better. But I don't see them doing either.
I don't see them doing grass at all because that would just ruin the original trifecta.
I mean, Water Ice is still a
Yeah.
decent defensive typing as well, but
I could see them doing water ice if they play into the arms being more sword like.
that's what I was about to say. As an offensive thing, I could see the arms becoming more ice swords, kind of like
And
Ceruledge.
Oppositely, for Alligator, they'd have to play defensive.
For Alligator,
For
go
Alligator-
on. They can make for Alligator go on all fours.
Or, hold on. Hold on. Instead of Empoleon's arms being more sword-like, I mean, just the way they're shaped now, imagine like a crossbow type arm.
That
Nah.
would work.
If nothing
Well,
else,
they
we're
already did it.
looking more scythe, like scythe or sickle blades, at best.
And the last one already had an archer.
Yep.
Period.
Skipping past Empoleon, because if they're doing
With literally
anything, it's
their,
ice.
Their inspiration for Heat Sweet Decidueye being Robin Hood.
Yep.
Outright.
Okay, looking at Incineroar, if it goes on all fours, what we thinking?
Ground type, maybe, to be honest.
I
'Cause
could
it's not going to
kind
keep
of
the
see
dark
it.
type.
It will not.
It's not
No,
going to keep
it's
the dark
not.
type. And otherwise, if it wasn't dark type, I'd say dark type. Because it would
Yeah.
still fit. Ground type, I could see. They won't do polar opposites types like fire, ice, or fire, grass. Just saying that.
Yep.
Um,
I have a hope and a dream, but I don't
because of
think
his
it'll work.
color scheme, the color scheme might change drastically, so I'm gonna keep that out of it.
Mm-hmm. I have a hope and a dream that would be cool.
Rock would be
Okay.
interesting.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
also kind of looking up to see like what everybody else is saying.
Uh-huh.
Like, whoa,
Hi, Amanda.
what did they say?
Like majority of what I'm seeing, I mean, two of
Tackles,
them we
B-Rad.
got them up there is Snivy and Piplup.
Yeah, it's possible. Something
Those two
Well-
I could see. And now the fire starters, it's just kind of iffy. I mean, they got some people saying Score Bunny, some people saying Clinton.
it
or
won't be
Finnegan.
Scorbunny.
It won't be Score Bunny because I think it's too popular for them to need. I think they're trying to revamp the ones that people liked less, as much as I hate people liking Rowlet less. But yeah.
Yeah, Rowlet.
Yeah.
I will say this, as a water type, I would love for them to do Primarina, but
I think Primarina, if they redo it, they're gonna screw it up.
I would say that's my issue. Because there's only
I think outright.
there's
they're gonna
only
mess it up.
one other typing they can give Primarina.
I
Okay.
know
And
it.
now
Actually, there's two.
here's another odd one. Someone said Chikorita, Tepig, Sobble, and they got the type listed.
Sobble
saying
is
Meganium-
possible. I just don't see how Sobble can be changed.
Well, okay. For their typing for Sobble, for Italian, they put Water Go. Inboard, they put Fire Steel. Meganium, they put Grass Berry.
I think they're gonna try to keep the inverse.
If they do Embor's going to be Fire Ground. I refuse to believe otherwise.
It won't be Fire Fairy.
If they do Primarina as the water type, they have their choice between Water Psychic and Water Ghost.
Or Dark.
Yeah.
Or Dark, yeah.
Yeah.
They have a couple with Primarina.
The thing is, I think Primarina is less likely because I just think it's too popular again. I think they're going to aim for the ones that kind of struck out.
I agree. I'm not saying you're wrong.
As much as I'm not trying to insult anyone's taste, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was down between.
I know Incineroar struck out. I know Superior struck out. I know Emboar struck out.
Actually, you're completely wrong. Emboar, or not Emboar, fuck. Incineroar was the top pick of Sun and Moon.
It was the top pick because a lot of people still didn't know what he turned into.
Even when they did, I saw so many people still stand Incineroar.
Okay. Even
there
that,
was just so much
I mean,
backlash after. So it's 50-50 with him.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, even with that Legends Arceus Typhlosion, it wasn't that low, was it? For popular?
It was middle because Meganium was the worst. Meganium was the worst. It was the middle.
I knew Meganium was the worst. I didn't know it
was the worst, but they at that time it was the first time. They also had to pick. They probably looked at all of them at the time. What was the worst from 3 different regions, and then balanced out that way.
I will say this much.
What about Oshawott?
What about what?
Oshawott. What were its ratings?
It was the middle. Actually, that's what they did. They took the middle ones from each one. They took the middle one. Because they took Typhlosion, which is the middle. They took Rowlet, which was the middle, because Incineroar and Primarina switched places when Incineroar's sign came out. But Rowlet was still in the middle. So they took all the middle ones. The ones that didn't strike out, but didn't overly get cheered.
The ones that struck out were still well known. Are still calling the contrary being talked about.
Yep. So if we take that into an example,
let's take here.
Empoleon still stays where it's at.
Emboar goes down because he was dead last. We have to swap out for another region for both Alola and.
We'd have to swap out Gen 5 and 2.
5 and 2. So shift topic from that. Open up the thought of Gen 9 and Gen 8.
Looking into Gen 8
was Sobble. It is Sobble.
Yeah, I was going to say Gen 8, middle of Sobble. Gen 9 was Fuecoco.
I know either Fuecoco or the cat.
It was Fuecoco.
No, so the cat's in the middle.
Fuecoco's the middle. The cat's number 1. The cat was the number 1.
Said it was Fuecoco because I said I know Fuecoco or the cat was on the top, and you said it was Fuecoco.
Oh, I was just saying that to myself. I didn't hear you. My bad. Yeah, no. Fuecoco is the middle one there. The cat's number 1,
Which
Fuecoco.
Was one of our main thought process here was Fuecoco.
But if that's the case, then that actually works because then it's. Well, no, it doesn't. We'd need a grass.
We need a grass.
I'm trying to look to see if there's a ranking anywhere.
I have to skip. The grass, by that logic, it would be Turtwig.
That would be Turtwig, yeah.
But Turtwig is the last one. It's not second like the others. Empoleon second. It's Chimchar, Empoleon, Turtwig.
The issue is, by the logic we're trying to pull from, nothing else works at the moment.
There's one thing that works, but it has a Mega.
Venusaur.
Nope. Venusaur settled last. The only thing more beloved than it is Blaziken.
But the thing is about Trico is it has a Mega.
Yep.
And so unless they're not including the Megas from Oras, It doesn't make sense.
Or, alternatively, they give these starters mega forms as well as alt forms. That is something we talked about.
I mean, who knows? We probably won't even get like the megas we know now. We might just get completely different megas.
They're not going to do that. They're going to rebring megas, certain megas, and probably most of them back.
I think if they were going to cut any megas, I think they'd cut Auras's off for now.
Yeah.
And keep Kalos, but I think they're going to bring back everything. It is too much of a hype moment.
Here's the thing: if they don't, people are going to be pissed because people didn't like a lot of the original megas. Very few of them really got liked in total.
Oh, because the original megas were like Houndoom and
Manectric.
The
only good ones.
I mean, X and Y was pretty much the starting of megas.
Yes,
yeah,
B-Rad.
Which is why I think they're gonna bring back the Aurus ones, because I think one, they just need to fill out the decks a little bit more too. Because if they stick with the thought pattern of National Dex is gone for this, which is probably gonna be, then 151 is too little for a Legends type game.
Yep.
It is too little to fill out any.
Other Legends game had 400.
If they bring in the others, at least the species that are from over there, right? That have megas, it'll fill out the decks a little bit more, and it would explain why they have megas if they left the region afterward.
Yep.
Plot holes. What do you think, B-Rad?
Why? I don't know, to be honest.
As I said, something I could see is them giving all the starters new forms and giving them megas. Therefore, allowing Sceptile to have yet 2 megas, which I'd be okay with.
It's a possibility. Or they're going to switch up the thought process and pick from the bottom or the top now.
And if they do bottom, then it's Meganium. We'd have to skip Gen 4, because that's Turtwig, at least for the moment. Quaquaval as the water. And then Embor.
True. And then we can do the reverse.
If they do tops, they do
Totodile.
Superior, Totodile, and it's in a... well...
No.
If Fuecoco's not top, Scorbunny. That's all. There's so many thought processes to this, guys.
I hate Scorbunny because it stayed pure.
Yeah.
I'm saying this now.
Should have been Fire Electric.
It should have been Fire Electric. Okay. My monkey that I love to death, and I know a lot of people dislike, I get why it's pure grass. I can see it. The water type, it could have gotten something and been fine, but it's alright as pure.
Yeah.
The other one needed its type, and it just kind of fucked it because they're like, no, Libero, because, yeah. Anyway, moving on. Let's get
Point
back to
is, yeah, there's all. You know what? We'll talk about starters at the end of this. We'll do our own thing with it. It won't be a tier list, but we'll go in very much so in depth with starters later.
Rest of Gen 7.
Poplio.
We have another starter next. Poplio, again, there's ways they can do it. But I do not believe they will be able to do it well. And there's not enough water for me to... Because Poplio and the mermaid thing should be in a sea-based region. A more sea-based region. There's just not enough water in Kalos.
I'm about to say, there is some I could understand because Poplio would fit very well in that portion that's water-based. Because it's like the ominous cave and stuff.
I mean, yeah, there's some water, but there's not really a lot at all.
Had they done one based off of Hoenn, where it's a ton of water, and you can see mermaids, and there's a bunch of ships, yes.
That I can see, yeah.
There's also...
Alola.
The thought process that they might change up the region a decent bit as well.
I mean, yeah, because, Legends Arceus, it was not like in 4 at all.
there was missing things. They were missing the man-made section to the volcano island and a few other things, but for the most part, it was all there. B-Rad, you're actually wrong.
Yeah.
It was all
I think
there, but
one of the
it
few
was
things we were
different.
missing was Luna Island, New Moon Island.
Yeah, we were
It was
missing.
not there.
We were missing a decent little bit of the water there. It seemed like between the town that, like, you had the bridge and go across and shit. I don't know.
And to settle this to anyone who might be listening in, this is not gonna be about the war outright.
Nope. Not going far enough back.
Because they hinted megas. And megas were specifically and canonly created after the war because it was after the ultimate weapon was fired. Let's stop this.
Yeah.
And as another note, we're talking about making making Lumios, the Lumia City project.
Anyway.
Guarantee.
Yeah, they're in the middle of making Lumios right now.
Yeah, in the middle of making Lumios. Lumios would not be back then in that big of a war. I think we're looking more World's Fair era because of World's Fair era.
There's no shot Trumbeak or Toucan get shit.
And we could also see Lumio City is pretty much our main base for
I will
the
say
game.
this: Trump has a thought process of getting a form in the future, just not here.
Trump?
Yeah, you gotta make it look like Biden.
Look at its decks. If you look at Trump, gumshoes, B-Rad.
Yeah, I know.
If you read its decks, it's not native to Alola. Just like Zigzagoon isn't native to Hoenn. It is a mon that was brought over and bred there to deal with the rodents.
Yep. As I
So
said,
there is a chance to eventually get one. It would just have to be in a new region.
they'll make it look like Biden.
Right.
I don't see the Grubbin line getting a form either.
If they did, it would be a Vikavolt Mega, and that's it.
Yeah.
Vikavolt Mega, honestly,
Vikavolt
go hard.
Go hard. I won't like that. I won't like that.
I wouldn't mind it. They just have to make sure they don't fuck it up.
Now, Wishy-Washy, I would love if they use their limited area to give Wishy-Washy a different form instead of a whale.
But they wouldn't because there's not enough water.
I don't.
If we're using that same logic with
see it.
Primarina, there's no shot.
I'm just saying I'd love it. I'm
Oh,
not saying
yeah.
it would happen.
I don't see anything for Wishy-Washy. No.
But we're not even too wishy-washy. We're at Crabrawler, which I don't see.
So I
getting
just
a
saw
fucking
Wishy-Washy.
thing.
Crabrawler, I wish they could give it a branching Evo and do something that way. Maybe, but this is a personal wish. I'm not saying it's likely at all.
Yeah, I don't think it's likely at all.
If they did it, I'd love for them to do like they did Surfetched and Sneasler.
Now, I will say this. If you want to know when they do it, you're looking at Hoenn.
Uber. Looking at what?
Hoenn, if they gave it a branching Evo.
Maybe.
Because it would make sense for them to fight with Corefish over, territory.
Yeah.
My Oricorio
It
is...
has the advantage against Corefish, so it wouldn't need to adapt.
Yeah.
Man, Corefish variants?
Corefish variant in Hoenn?
Hey, it could be cool. If we do a future game instead of a previous one.
Oricorio's the only way they're going to get something is if they add a new flower. That's it.
Yeah, they're not getting shit. Much as I love Oricorio.
Yeah, they're not going to get shit.
Rabombi, again, I can't see them getting
Nope.
anything.
Cutiefly and Rabombi aren't getting anything at all whatsoever. I love it because, again, these are some of my favorite mons, but...
And then Rockruff and Lycanroc have already gotten 3 different forms.
Yep, they're not getting anything.
And there's no other time-based anything they could add for evolution.
At best, they give it a Mega.
There is one. B-Rad.
They could give it the Dawn form.
Midnight, Dawn, and Dusk.
They have midnight,
dusk,
midday.
and midday.
Yeah.
They could do a dawn form.
I just don't think it's likely.
Neither do I. But that is the only way and the only thing it could be called. Dawn form.
Yeah.
What
We're
would,
not saying it's likely at all, but we can see the path to do it.
could you? What if we got
I
a
can
dawn
see
form
it.
Lycanroc? Let's start. If we got a dawn form Lycanroc, what color scheme and what stat distribution? Because we know it's going to be pure Brock.
Dawn form, I would see like more of a yellowish kind of color.
Yellowish, still keeping that warmer tone, because all of their shinies are shades of blue, so we need that warm tone to be opposites.
I was thinking an off-white color.
Off-white to represent clouds would be interesting, or yellow.
I was
Both
thinking
are
the
okay.
moon. I was thinking moon, but clouds work too.
I mean, okay. I was saying yellow because I mean, you see dusk form Lycanroc, it's orange.
Yeah.
Yellow kind of matches the orange right there.
It's possible. There's a couple colors.
Dawn is its opposite.
Stat spread is a different conversation, though. I don't think we can do that right now.
I can, off the top of my head. I think we'll get a defensive Lycanroc if they do it.
If they did, yeah, probably defensive.
Yeah.
But I thought you want exact.
No. Just like, how do you think it'd be? Yeah, I definitely think it's
doing
defensive.
that, but I can't do that right now.
Because both midday and midnight are kind of in between. Dusk is very offensive. So I think it makes sense if it was a nice defensive mon. Give it like filter.
Yeah.
Or you can still have it have tough claws if you want. For a bit of damage prowess.
Personally, I love maybe a scruffier one, a little more covered with fur.
Yep.
But yeah.
I agree.
Fluffy or another defensive thing. Like,
there's so much they could give it. It'd be great.
Oh my god. Space Ghost.
Hi, Space Ghost. Hi, Duck.
Honk honk, bitches.
This is not a future-based game, Amanda. I don't know why you think that. It is not a future-based game.
It's not.
It is outright not.
It is not at all.
Yeah, no, Amanda, I told you this before. This is the building of Lumio City. It's not a future game. There's no thought process for that here.
No offense, Amanda. But there is zero premise for a future-based game.
Calls his wife doesn't because she doesn't cook, doesn't clean, doesn't do anything. Oh my lord.
Did you try taking... No, I'm not going to say that. I was about to say something.
Stop. Alright.
Mudbury, Mudville.
An opposite form. But because we have Go-Goat, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't see it getting anything because Go-Goat exists.
If it wasn't there, all the way, I'd love like an ice donkey.
Yeah.
Because they're more mountainous things. And there's a huge ice mountain.
I was thinking grass type.
I wouldn't say grass. No.
Start having like flowers sprout.
Too similar to Go-Goat.
B-Rad, we just said if Go-Goat wasn't there, that was the whole premise.
I can see ice, but I can't see grass. I think it's too on the nose, too on point.
I could see it like shedding the mud.
Yes, it is Lumio City, but it's them building up Lumio City to what it is today.
Yeah.
This is
just like Jubilife City.
You're good, Space Ghost.
Technically, Jubilife's village.
Yeah. This is them building Lumio City.
About making Kalos what it is today. It's like the World Fair era.
I'm a shock.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I really just like when people push a point a lot.
Blue Fighter, No.
Do we know if
I was thinking
Ariados is
Fighter.
normally in the game?
It's what is?
I can check.
Ariados. I feel like it is.
Yes. I want to say it is.
I think so.
I was about to say, if it's not, this would be a great thing to add to the forest as a regional variant.
Are straight people okay, Nani? Wait, this is an Aiden's chat. I shouldn't infect it with dad jokes. I was in the supermarket with my wife today when completely out of the blue you said, "You know something? You were really lazy." I was so shocked I nearly fell out of the shopping cart.
Fair enough.
Sounds like
No.
B-Rad, a future wife.
So, what's the verdict on Ariados?
What the fuck?
I forgot to check because I was reading chat. Hold on.
No. I'm 90% sure Ariados is in it.
If it is, it's in the Central Kalos, I believe. We have Scoliopede. You know, 6 was kind of lacking bug types.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's not here. The only bug types we have here are Scyther. And then we scroll back up a while because there's no bug types in all of Kalos, Central Mountain Kalos, except there's Scyther, Carablast, Escavalier, Carablast, and Shellman.
So then I'm moving
Skorupi
this
technically, but
all the way
Skorupi
up.
loses his bug type, so that's kind of like half,
1, 2,
right?
yeah. So
We have
this.
Yanma and Yanmaga. We have Dwebble. There's a few of them, a few bug types, but not nearly as many as you'd expect.
So
And Ariados is not here. They don't have a spider.
you guys know that forest toward the end where the ice gym is normally?
Yeah.
I could see a dark bug type Dewpider and Araquanid being there. And turning it into like their own spider forest, and that's the reason so many Trevenants are there.
I mean,
If we want to get dark with it, I think that could be super cool. I think Dewpider, not so much, but Araquanid definitely has the face for it.
I think it could work.
So I'm gonna put that all the way up there because I personally love to see it.
I think it just needs a spider in general.
Wait. No, Galen, here it is right here. It's in the Mountain Pokedex.
Is it? Did I just miss it? What the fuck?
Yeah, Mountain Pokedex 107, 108.
So it is there, JJ, apparently.
I'm gonna still keep this where it's at, but yeah, I don't feel like scrolling all the way back up to change it. I just don't care. Lorantis and Fomantis, I don't see.
Mountain is interesting.
Let me, because it says it right here. Terminus Cave, Victory Road, Friends Sakari. That's it.
Brain's dying.
That's the only 3 locations Ariados is in X and Y.
Point is, I could still see the Araquanid. I don't see Lorantis getting anything.
Oh my lord. Amanda's trying to ask why it can't be Lumios Tilly being rebuilt.
It's
Instead.
not. It's
It wasn't.
not.
It is a Legends game. It's meant to
Literally,
explore myths and legends.
I would say it's in the title, Amanda. No offense. The Legends. This isn't just
And it
regular
said
Pokemon
Lumia
Z.
City, and it said Lumia City in development right there.
It's in
They're in the-
redevelopment.
Or redevelopment.
Still works the same. It's still a Legends game.
but you see its plans for building the city and
Yeah.
changing it.
Amanda, we're going to get to the starters at the end because we got
Yep.
a whole ass discussion about that.
We have to have a whole
I'm
ass
sorry,
in depth.
Amanda. Before this, I've already said this, but it's not going to be Venusaur.
I don't see Salazzle or Salandit really getting anything.
The only way would be
No.
adding
A male
variant where
form.
male Salandal evolves or something like that.
But I don't see it happening. Because it didn't happen with
I don't
Comfy.
either, but that's the only path there. Beware
I-
is too beloved.
Where the fuck did I...
They mess with Beware and they screw it up. It's not going to go well.
I was about to say, I love Stuffle too much. It is perfect the exact way it is.
Now, they did mess with Petalil line. Could they take one of the other grass, waifu-looking mons? Yes. Which one I would see, though? Maybe this one. I'll be honest.
Well, there's not a lot. But I see them doing more Whimsicott because of it, not Petalil.
Whimsicott's already in this game, though. JJ.
Yes, Galen, but we threw that logic out the window because there could still be other factors at play that we don't know about.
Whimsicott is not a waifu mon, was the other thing.
We're not talking about waifus, we're talking about counterparts, Galen. Just like Leyland
I brought up the thought of waifu mons, not counterparts right
Yes, but you brought
up waifus. I want to see Lopunny.
Lopunny's already has its Mega B-Rad.
They wouldn't
No,
touch
I'm talking about. No, I'm talking about instead of 6'5", we're getting 6 checks.
Don't get me wrong. I would be completely okay with Serena getting something, but I don't see them doing it.
My wife said I treat our relationship like some sort of game. Unfortunately, it's caught her 10 points and a bonus chance. Moving on. For the Laymon, I don't see anything.
Nope.
I don't see the possibility here.
Even though I'm a big Comfey fan, it's not getting shit.
There's a possibility in a place like Hawaii or Hoenn, or in Alola like Hoenn, but it's from Alola, so it doesn't make sense.
Yep.
In my eyes, to change.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they could change it to.
There wouldn't be any change at all. I don't see it.
Yeah.
Where were we?
I don't see the monkeys.
These two are too intertwined. They have to be together, like Survivor and
Zangoose.
And neither of them are cared enough about in general to see them doing anything.
Yeah. They're not a favorite at all.
Yeah. I've never heard someone come up to me and, oh, my favorite Pokemon's Passimian. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think Wimpod will get a form. Golisopod, I'd love to see get a form or something, but I don't think it'll happen.
I don't see it, to be honest.
It could be possible, but I don't see
It's possible, but I don't see it. A feral Furfrou? No, we saw Furfrou in the trailer.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen.
Sandy Gas, no. I mean, it's based off a Alola beach area. Don't see it at all.
And, well, mons from other regions that just exist there might be a conversation. I doubt, other than the starters and the legendaries, they're going to touch many of the actual Gen 6 mons from that region. Except maybe Megas. Yeah. And if so, they're not giving it to Furfrou.
Pyukamuku is getting absolutely nothing, and I will take no other arguments on it.
Furfrou might get, like, some new design.
Same thing with Sylvie and Titanol. There's just no reason to touch it.
Well, you can't
Yeah.
even touch it. It was artificially made. You literally can't touch it. It's like Ditto. Minior.
Same thing with Minior.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. It's from outer space. You'd have to get a different variant of Minior, and then what's the point?
Now, okay. Minior, I would see a difference in Hoenn.
Nani?
Just because, Hoenn, it's got the space station. You deal with Deoxys. He comes from outer space.
Yes, they already have their floating rocks.
I'm just saying like a different kind of form.
What form could they do
I don't
with
see
it?
it being anything other than rock flying or rock psychic, and we already have the 2 rock psychics.
I could see it being
You mean
something
an
else.
evolution of Furfro? I don't think so.
Nah.
No.
And even if it happened, it would not be feral. There is another typing I could see for Minior, though, in Hoenn, if we want to go that route. Fairy.
What's that?
If they're going to give it a form change, I could see Fairy. And it losing its shell completely and it being Fairy flying.
There only exists one Fairy flying currently, so...
Yeah, that's why I said it.
Gator James.
Gator James!
Kamala's getting absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
The same thing with most of the bottom of 7, to be honest.
Yeah, where are we at?
We're third
Is
grade.
there
Yeah.
a Turtlemon in Gen 6?
Is there
Yeah,
a
they
what?
A Turtlemon in Gen 6 that's not
Yeah, they got
a
Torkoal.
starter carried over.
They got Torkoal.
I'm pretty sure.
I know they have
got
Torkoal. I know they already have Torkoal.
Yeah.
I have Torkoal sadness.
And because I got the deck pulled up right here.
I was about to say, I know it's in the mountain region.
Crutches and Quillfish aren't opposites.
What?
So I'm very confused as to why that's a thought pattern. Because they did one for Quillfish.
JJ, Torkoal is not in the Mountain Pokedex.
Which one is
We've
it?
checked for Torkoal. I know he's there.
I know he's in a dex. Yes, B-Rad.
I know he's in a deck, but I didn't see him in the Mountain one. Unless I just skipped him completely. Which I may have done.
96.
Yeah,
B-Rad.
Torkoal is somewhere.
Number 96.
Nah, yeah, I probably missed him completely.
About to say, I literally have Cerebi up right now. Literally. Look.
The thing is for Bruxish, I don't see it.
Now.
I don't see the ability to change him that much.
This would be a Hoenn one at best. This would be a Hoenn one.
Because it needs more tropical waters, and there's just not enough water there to justify that.
Same thing with Drampa. There's nothing there for it.
Drampa, though, it's nothing limiting it to the tropical vibe. So
yes, but they'd have to do something with Turtonator.
That's not a guarantee, though, because they did Lilligant without Whimsicott, and they're opposites, so...
I don't see Delmise. I don't know. I don't see where Drampa would even really be besides
Delmise has to become modern to make it, and that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I would say Delmise have to be the opposite. Now, me and Galen have talked about this one before. Galen, Como? Question mark.
Could get a Mega.
Yeah, I would say I don't know if I'd rather Mega or a form.
I think it would be better as a form. But I could see either way.
I would say right now I don't see the form. I don't know if they could do for the form.
I don't know about form either. I mean, I could potentially see like some of the other pseudo legends get a Mega.
I can't see any of the other pseudo legends. I think it's this one or nothing for this.
I don't know. I could see possibly Baxcalibur if they don't give it a form.
There's only the newer ones, and then like Gen 1 out of the pseudo legends left.
Yep.
And Gen 5. And they can't give it to Gen 5s because Gen 5's just got its primal thing. Not primal.
We could just skip the entire rest of this.
Yeah.
Because it does not, there is no thought pattern to any of these.
Literally zero. None of the EUBs will show.
The only thing that happened is they've been more obsessed with making trios quattros lately, and I think if they were going to do that, they'd have done something else.
Well, they already have a quattro. I would say already a quattro here, so you can't. Looking at this gen, I'll be honest, guys. Instead of moving these all the way up, especially because it's so fucking long at this point, let's just talk about each individual mons. It's gonna be easier for us.
I'm fine with that.
All right. So starting off at the top with the 3 starters first.
Yeah.
I can see any of them getting the form.
Yeah. Maybe besides Doom. But Scorbunny and Inteleon, I can see.
If it's a form, any of them can get it. I think all of them are optimal. Depending on the thought process applied. Now, Squelvid and Greedent, I really don't see it.
Nope. I don't think Corviknight will get anything either.
Yeah.
Or Bullet Bugs.
The same thing for the Orvils.
Yeah.
The bugs.
Yeah.
Nickit is possible, but we have Eevee. So no.
Well, on top of that, we also might even have Purloin somewhere there, so
yeah.
Gossifleur, I just don't see.
Nope.
Yeah, Eldegoss now.
Jump Wool if Go-Go didn't exist.
Yeah, I would say. Or if Mareep wasn't in the game normally.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is the same thing. We have another turtle.
Yep.
So I don't believe
turtle.
There's not enough water for it.
We have a dog, but I could see them doing this either. Because they've had multiple dogs in different games. They tend to...
Yes, the issue is...
Bolton, yeah.
And I'm going to sound like an ass.
Comes when they just did 3 dogs in general.
Yeah. Well, my issue was if they're going to do a dog, they're not going to do one that looks as derpy as the Amber. Because I always...
Another Meowth-Evo, get that out of your mouth, please.
No.
It's a thought process, but if they're going to do it, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, Meowth's got too much love, just like Charizard.
A whole new cat mon.
Yep.
At this point.
Here's
It's
the
like
thing.
redoing of Pikachu and Charizard, and it's just too much at this point.
Yep. The Pika clones are fine.
A lot of Gen 8, I really don't see much besides the starters. Besides the starters.
There is some thought process to some of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to be... It's not going to be Carkol, because I don't think there's enough of change there with Cole.
Yeah, I was about to say...
It's not going to be Applin line, because they just added 2 evolutions to Applin.
I will say... If they're adding just newer mods into the older game, not like forms or anything, I could see Carkol 100%.
I could see Carkol going and possibly getting a Mega if that was the case.
Yeah, that's possible. If we want to ignore G-Max, yeah, I could understand that. Because literally that's all Terminus Cave was a bunch of
G-Max
coal.
is not going to be a factor at all for a long
No.
I don't think it'll ever be a factor again, because even if they do a Legends game, unless they go all the way back to Eternatus' first appearance, they're not going to do it.
The Darkest Day.
Yeah, unless they go all the way back, it's not going to happen.
Which I would love, but...
I'd love it, but if they don't do that, there's no way.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
there are a few
going back to Darkest Day, that would be nice. but no, it won't.
They do have normal
won't
dark
be for a
still,
long
so
time.
Now,
yes.
Cramorant is interesting here, but
I
I
can
don't
see-
believe it has.
The region doesn't
I'm
have
not
enough
speaking,
water.
I'm typing. Do they have normal, dark, or steel so far?
Meowths.
There's no meows. Let's stop this.
no more.
If they were following that pattern, they'd all have to be weak to fighting. So I guess it would be rock.
Yep. And then they'd stop.
What they need to do is let the new meow forms be new meow forms and be something like Dipplin was.
Fakes. Regional fakes.
And add another form on top of that because Berserker just seems unfinished.
Yep.
But yeah.
Anyway, Cramorant, there's just not enough water around for these water types. There's not.
The thing is, Cramorant is one of the few water types I can see because he's not limited to just the water. He can move around. He can be in lakes.
But
And
there's
we see
no.
it a lot in just small lakes. He doesn't need
I
the
can
big
see
area.
that.
Like
We
others.
only
He's
see
actually more
one
of a-
lake.
Less of a ocean and more of a coast.
Yeah, but we only see like one lake.
I'm just saying, out of everyone else, I think he's the most probable of a water type.
Of a water type, maybe.
Yeah.
I would say the only lake we really see is the one, like the moat around the castle where the breeding center is.
Yeah. Anyway,
As I said, there's just not enough of that stuff around.
maybe Berserker would get an Evo then. The thing is, they'd have to do it in Galar because of the restrictions put on the world and their own canon reasons.
Yep.
Moving on though.
Silicobra
I mean,
Sandaconda, no. Bearskeetas, no. Toxtricity, I could maybe see those.
I could see an older form of Toxtricity, more
I could see
acoustic,
that as
less
well.
electric.
I can see that. Yeah.
Funnily enough, I was gonna go the opposite and maybe take away the steel type, or the electric type and replace it, or no, the poison type and replace it with like steel or something.
No.
That wouldn't make
Okay.
maybe because of the time frame.
I was about to say it's because of the time frame. It's not.
I could see either. I could see grass instead and getting rid of both types and just doing
I
sort of.
I was going to say if it's going like more acoustic, then I could see more like a grass or I don't know, bug maybe.
Or rock.
Bug.
Rock, I could see.
I don't know.
Rock I could see because it's like solid. So grass rock is a possibility, or opposite would be
Rock.
like steel.
Rock electric, I could see, as well.
Rock
not
electric
steel.
too. Yeah. There's a few thoughts.
Yeah, there's a couple
Well,
thoughts.
steel was for the other one, for the more modern, a different form,
Yeah.
like a metal guitar.
Yep. Santa Scorch, I don't see.
Centiscorch.
No.
I could see a possible variant with Centiscorch,
I don't know where they
but I
put
don't
it.
see them doing enough with it to make it viable.
I don't see too much. I don't see too much of Center Scorch at all.
Anyway, Clavipus, we run into the thing where a lot of them be water, and octopuses need to be in water.
I could see Clavipus though, and Grablocked. Not so much being water, but somehow, as they already have, learning to be on land more. Maybe giving them a poison typing, or a steel typing or something. Alternative. In having them toward that coastal area.
Maybe. I don't know. What do you guys think in the audience if we still have people?
Yep.
I think it's just Amanda.
Probably.
Now, moving on,
We can skip
the
those.
thing is, with the teacups, I don't think there should be more. I think we've covered the two main possibilities with matcha and the
Tennessee.
Sinistra.
Synesty.
The Sinisty line,
Yeah.
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 I just don't think there's any good way of doing it without just over milking it.
Yep.
And just not doing it properly. The next one,
I don't see.
I don't even know how they do it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
There's no. Yeah. Now, looking at the next one, which is Impidimp line, I could see a thought pattern, but I'd much more see them just straight adding it than giving it a form.
What is the thought pattern for the form? Let's talk about that.
So, for a form, I could see them keeping the fairy, maybe making it friendly and a grass type. That's one. I could see psychic as point two. Yeah, those are my main two.
I could see them going opposite and maybe doing a forest thing. I don't know. Well, there's a few thoughts.
That's why I said grass. I see a forest theme with grass, and then I see a psychic theme as more of a hermit that's knowledgeable.
If it was Unova and had Unova's bridges, I could see a smaller bridge or different pathways of getting there, and having like a troll under the bridge sort of thing.
That was something I was thinking as well. And
but we don't have many of those prominent bridges in Kalos.
Yeah.
We don't really.
They've only.
There might be some. They might be some in that time, but without more land knowledge, I can't speculate that would be a high up chance.
Yeah. And in the original game, they pretty much only had one bridge. And that was it.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Either way, it's possible but not probable.
Same thing with Berserker, we've already discussed it.
Yes.
Since it's something that only can be born in Kalos, it's not like the others.
Yep.
Minus an effect like the terrarium, which creates the environments for them, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's just no way for a wild Berserker or wild set of Galarian elves to exist there naturally to be able to adapt.
Yep.
That's why when we saw Alolan Vulpix in Gen 4's Legends, it was a gift. It was someone who came from Alola had 7 of them and gave us one.
Yep.
Yeah. And like Berserker, if they're going to do anything to it, it's going to have to be a Gen 8 game.
Yep.
It's going to have to be an added evolution, something similar to Ursuluna, right?
Yeah.
Where the way to evolve it was lost. But yeah. Starfetched.
It's not getting anything.
As much as I'd fucking love Starfetched, I will say this. It doesn't need anything.
Nope.
Without completely shifting the thoughts of its type, it doesn't need anything. But again, it has that same thought process. It can only come from Galarian Starfetched.
Yeah. That's the only issue.
I'd love like an armored one version with an actual like steel sword in its hand. Like that would be amazing to me. But yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly,
Make it into a steel type.
moving on, Alchemy and Milcery aren't getting anything.
I want a new dog, Evo. We don't need any more new dogs.
We don't need a new dog. We really, really don't.
Hold on.
We just got 3 new dogs.
Going back to Surface, I mean, what if it's kind of like Aegislash? You get the metal sword, metal shield.
No. I just can't see
I
it.
don't see it, dude. At most, you might get one sword for Farfetch, but it will not be Surfetched. You'd be looking at Farfetch'd at best.
I'm just saying because
They
it
had
matches
to
the vibe
literally
with
make a
Aegislash.
whole new Farfetch for this to work.
I just don't see it.
Just doesn't work in my eyes. Phalanx, I don't see it here.
I don't see
I
it.
see the possibility for something for Phalanx when they do something based off of Greece in that area.
Italy.
Yeah,
Italy, Greece,
and this
not
is more of a Paris theme.
yeah,
So,
yeah. We're in
Which
France.
I believe Italy was one of the places talked about for Gen 10
Yep.
in the hints because they've been looking at them. So hopefully, maybe next year, maybe.
Pincurchin, I
That
don't
could
see
be nice.
anything, or Frostmoth, I don't see either of them.
Nom could be covered / Frostmoth if it's a regional fake, but only that.
Or if they were just bringing new mons into this region outright without like giving forms, I could see it.
see a Mega Frostlass that way.
Yeah, I mean it'll fit into the vibe of the icy mountain area.
It the ice gym and then the forest that's beside it is where it fits in. That's where Frostmoth fits.
Well, there's also an ice mountain that's just completely separate from the place the ice gym was at, which weirded me out.
Yeah.
That is odd. That is odd.
Because usually before then they tried to match area to area and it just kind of fucked it over.
Yeah.
Moving on. Stonejourner and Ice Cube. I don't see it.
Yeah, no.
I don't. Stonejourner could possibly get something in a place like Egypt.
Yep.
Ice Cube. No.
Wow.
I'd just rather a different penguin Pokemon at this point. At that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate Ice
NDD's
Cube's design anyway. So.
No. I just don't think there's any growth for NDD. What do you guys think?
Again, if we were bringing it back without forms, this would work perfectly as a made Butler thing, but no. Not as a, or not with
Morpeko. I don't see them adapting any of the
Pika clones now.
Pika clones, no.
Only Pikachu's gotten that, and I think they're gonna stick with just Pikachu.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't see.
Kufant is another one of those mons where it is not native to Galar. However, it is also not native to Kalos. So when we get an Asian-based one like Chinese elephant, or an African elephant,
yeah, I was gonna say if we get like a Saudi Arabia one, which we won't, but
now this is a funny thought process here with these fossils. I'd love to see Kalos put them together properly.
It would be cool, but they won't do that till they won't be in this game.
I'm just saying, I would love to see that as just a toss in the face.
No, it's not.
We just Drowdon got
it's Evo,
and Drowdon got a new evolution.
Yeah,
I'll be Rivik.
Honestly, the rest of these mons, you could just skip and just go straight to 9.
Dracloak doesn't need a Mega, and it would just be extra. It just doesn't seem right with him.
And what would Dragapult have? More Droopies they could shoot out?
I could possibly see a less modern Dragcloak. Because its final thing is based off of a stealth bomber, if you see that. And it mentions that it was originally a mon that died. So there could be a non-ghost type version of it.
Yeah, but that would...
That's the only possibility I see.
The only possibility I could see with that, I mean, I would see it like being before the weapon and everything. Before the weapon killed, majority of everything.
What about Frog then? A toxic or... we've already discussed this. It's the issue. She wants to know our thoughts on a Frog thing. Is JJ here?
He may have had to walk off. But, I mean, Galen, do you see my point about Dragapult?
Okay.
I mean, before the
ultimate weapon...
I'm back.
I could see the version of Dragapult that was alive. If is the only possibility. Mainly because it is said that there was a version of Dragapult that died and that became what we know today.
Yeah, but I can only see that as before the weapon.
No, I can
'Cause
see
I'm-
it after because it all depends on context and thought
We don't
process.
know who the war is between. Until we know that, we can't say that.
Yeah.
She also wants our thoughts on Krogunk / Toxic Road. I just don't.
No.
think there's a thought process.
No.
We already got Froakie.
I could see them instead of the stealth jet, more of an original an airplane type thing back then, or just straight dragon or something. There's
That
room for
could be
possibility.
interesting. That could be interesting. Yeah.
But do I think it's going to happen? No. Is there room
No.
for it? Yes.
And after that, we can skip all those legends and other forms and shit. So
Yeah, and just go straight to Gen 9.
Yeah.
we can
Alright.
see any starter about the cat.
Mons, because of Blood Moon Ursa Luna, will have the possibility. I will just putting it out there.
It's a
But do
slim
I think-
possibility.
Any of them really need something? No. I think most of them were done in the correct way for this.
My only reasoning
Do
for
not need it.
excluding them is because the Blood Moon Ursulina was, past to present, versus these that is past to past. I don't see it.
I'm just bringing it up. That there is the thought process here. Do I believe it is solid? No. Do I believe it will be there? No. But there's
Now,
that process, because I don't want to leave out and exclude anything. If someone feels judged.
I don't see any. I don't see the cats, but I could see the other two starters. I don't see
I
any.
think if they're
Yeah.
gonna pick a Gen 9 starter, it's gonna be Crocky Boy or it's gonna be
Quacks.
Ducky Boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
won't be the
One
cat.
of those two.
It won't be.
LeChonk, just
Yeah,
No.
won't be
There's
Aiden.
nothing
It won't
there,
be
bro.
Spidops. It
No.
won't be Nimble. It won't be the Pick a Clone. It won't be Mousehold.
Nimble. I could see as a possibility because it was the first of its kind to do something with, but I think it would just not work out.
I don't know
No.
what they can make a Common Rider into. I just don't.
Anyway, moving on. Won't be the Pika clone. Tandemouse is way too specific unless they somehow do a very French caricature of Tandemouse,
Yeah.
which will just come out wrong. I just don't think so.
I don't see Darkspawn. Don't see Arboliva. Actually,
What
I
about
can
the
see
new
Arboliva.
Evo of a Birdmon living in a large city in trash? That would be more of a modern thing. I will say that.
Yeah.
That would
it's
be
not
more
a
of a
passive.
modern idea, a modern thing.
Actually, Arboliva, I could see it turning into some type of grapevine mon instead of olives.
Grape wine, yeah.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I could actually see that.
Okay, if we're going back off to like stuff like that, I mean, like what other kind of dessert can Dash Bun be that's like Paris theme?
What's
A
it
croissant?
based off? I would say a croissant.
Yeah, okay, that maybe. I don't know.
I
But
think
it'd
it's
look
just
weird as a
croissant for
dog.
dessert. You said a dessert, so it's
Yeah, I
just
would say he
Or
said a
the
dessert.
dessert, bread type, and
I would
something,
say
whatever.
a croissant or a
Okay,
baguette, or is what comes to mind.
Okay, so moving on. The Elvis birds, I really don't see them doing anything with at all.
Nope.
Nope.
Nor Knackley or
Knackley, if it was a different area and we saw a different vein of salt, I could see it becoming a dual type. But that's it.
but say I could see it in Egypt becoming ground rock, but we ain't there.
I could see that ground rock. I could see if it was up in the Himalayas, pink rock, maybe them pushing for
Ice.
fairy or psychic
Or even
or
ice.
ice.
I don't know.
But we're not there.
Because I'm saying, because I've seen pink Himalayan rock salt. So there's a few spots, but they have to be very specific locations
Yep.
Yeah.
with it.
Don't see Charcadet's line.
No, unless
I
they
see
made
if they added in an add an evolution could be possible, but I just don't see it. I don't see another way to do it.
Now, if they wanted to add in just it as is, I could see it, but other than that, it won't get a form.
Yeah, I mean, the only other evolution I could see is like a bulky one, like a shield
No,
type.
Amanda,
More
no.
defensive.
What did Amanda say?
Mabostiff, Evo, or new Evo for Mastiff. No. We're not getting a new dog Evo like that, Amanda. Not in this game. We're not.
No.
It makes no sense.
The issue is, this has its own dog.
It has its own centerpiece
the Gen
dog.
4 Legends Arceus that you could really call a dog, even though it really wasn't. Could even compare to a dog was like Shanks.
Yep.
That's the only thing you could compare to it, and it didn't have one, which is why Arcanine made sense to put in there. But this has its dog right in the center.
Yeah.
I don't see Belly Bolt, by the way. There's not enough water for it to hang around.
Galvatral.
Yeah, not enough coast, not enough for Mastiffs.
Because of the desert area, I could technically see the Tumbleweed if they do it right, but I just don't think they will.
I don't think you can give it a form, really. That's my issue. Not for another desert.
I don't want to see the walking mushrooms again.
Nope. I don't think we'll get Shroodle's line either.
Sadly, Clough.
I wish.
Or Aiden.
I don't see...
Aiden deserves a new form.
I don't see the Peppers. I don't see the Shit Roller. I don't see a Spathra. I really don't see most of the rest of these. Besides maybe Tinkaton.
Tinkaton is a possibility. But
I could see it as a Mega. Specifically.
I could see it getting Mega, I could see possibly a new form, maybe Rock instead of Steel. Could be something. Rock Hammer made that way, Ancient Tool, or Wood Hammer. There's a few thoughts with his hammer.
Yeah. I could see it being fighting Rock based off of like the old circus people. You know, or like the circus game where you'd hit the thing with a mallet or whatever. See how high you can get.
Don't think, since it's not that far back, we could technically get an older version, like an old automobile version of these two. I just don't know how to be done.
Amanda, to answer your question,
like a wagon.
Yes, Belly Bolt would need to be water because that's where its Prevo has to be. So yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly why we said it wouldn't make sense.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really that much water that's in Kalos at all.
Which is why we've been really limiting our thought process with water types.
Nissa, no. We're not getting anything for Houndstone. Houndstone can die. And stay dead.
It's already dead.
Yeah, no, Nissa. We don't need it to have any sort of Mega or anything else. I really don't see the rest of these getting anything so far. Maybe Titan I could see getting a Mega or a form.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Okay, here's the thing. And I questioned it in Scarlet and Violet. Flamingo, what the hell? Like, you should have at least gave it an evolution.
It needed something to be unique. It needed a better, like, design. Cool fighting flying type, it just needed a better design and better stats.
Okay. The fighting flying, I did love, but it's just the design and everything. I mean, if you were going off that design, at least have it an evolution that make it look better.
Yeah. It needed something. Baxcalibur, I can see getting a regional form or Mega. Maybe if it gets a regional form, change it to Dragon Steel like Goodra and make more sense. Could also do Rock. There's a couple you could do.
What are we talking about?
Baxcalibur's line.
Yeah.
Baxcalibur has a few thought processes. The only way for them to be included if they would be going grass type with innate instead of steel. Why would they add Annihilate? Annihilate doesn't need it at all.
No, I don't need it.
But with
Yeah,
that, we
it
get
does.
through everything because paradoxes aren't getting anything, legends aren't getting anything, mythics aren't getting anything, and there's nothing else to give. So
Yeah.
that's the rest of this.
And now we go back to the
Talking
talk
about
of the starters.
So for
Back
that,
to the thought on the start.
I'm going to actually just pull up a starter tier list.
Starter tier list.
Okay, that works.
So I'm going to just do these by tiers. I'm not going to specially name them like I normally would. So D is the ones that won't happen. Obviously, the forms that are already there.
Obviously. Same with those.
Thank you. Hold on, sorry, I had an eye itch. Okay. Those are the ones that absolutely won't happen. They just will not. As much as I even love for Child to get something, it won't. And I'm also going to toss these in there. There we go. This is what we're left with.
Kalos ones as well.
We're left with 4 fire, 5.
Kalos ones, the only way they're
water.
getting something
No,
is
5.
if it's like a battle bond situation.
We're left with 5 of each,
Yeah.
basically.
Okay, now here's my thought process on the Kalos.
No. I need to address something Nissa said first. Fuck
What?
you, Nissa. Fuck you.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Mega
No,
Palooza.
fuck you.
What the nutty fuck?
Okay, let's start
Okay.
with fire starters from least likely to most likely.
And we're not saying no water types would make the list, because it's just very few of them could become anything but water.
Yeah.
I leave it.
I put this. Here's how I think the fire starters are from least to most likely.
I think that's pretty on point, to be honest.
Yeah. The only thing
I could
I'll do
I could
that.
see a little bit. Yeah, I was getting ready to say a little bit more Vembor, and that's about it.
Yeah,
I'm thinking Incineroar. Amanda's on the same thought process as us, and so is Nissa. I think there's a few other thought processes. Snivy could be one, and Piplup could be one.
I feel like Snivy goes there. I don't know if
I think it's reversed.
But Snivy being the most popular, out of its region, I don't see it giving it to Snivy more than Meganium. Based off every thought process we had, unless they do the most popular, they're not giving it to Snivy.
I can see it, yeah.
And I do think Empoleon's the most likely water starter. That being said, for this, I think... For alligators, probably there. Primarina's here. Quackleval's there. That's there. Grass starters, there. That there. That there.
Yeah.
I think this
that I could agree with.
So these right here are, I'm gonna just do it this way. Most likely. Absolutely possible. Doubt. Most likely. Not
at all.
Snowball's chance in hell. I think that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah. Okay. So one thing I was gonna say, I mean, in X and Y, once when you get to Lumio City, you talk to Professor Sycamore, he gives you the Kanto starters.
Yeah.
In this game, I could probably see them giving you the Kalos starters.
Yep.
Later on, and then
I don't think they'll give them.
know,
I think they'll be wild, just like how Chimchar and them.
I think they'll be wild like the other one.
Now they might give us the Mega Stones if they have Megas.
okay, that I could see. Yeah.
But I think in the starters from this region will be wild like Gen 4 was. I think they'll have specific spots.
Yep. Just like Chimchar and the rest of them.
Okay. If we're going off specific spots, I know. I mean, Greninja. There's that one swampy area that's in Kalos. I can see Greninja being in that area.
He is a frog. That would make sense.
Yeah. Chestnut.
There's plenty of forests. You can pick a forest, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because he's a chestnut.
And then Delphox.
That's the one thing. The desert, because it's a firefox, I guess.
Nope. Well, possibly. There's two areas.
They had it in the savannah in the thing. So.
There is the desert, and then there's the swamp. Witch's hut out in the middle of the swamp. Those are your two spots for it.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Delphox I can see in that little swamp area.
Yep.
Like, you know,
where you evolve Gumi. Or Sliggoo.
Yeah.
Right before the fairy
I forgot
gym.
which one it was. It's the one.
Route
it's
6.
the one. Yeah, right
Route
next to the
6.
fairy gym.
So, talking about them each structurally is what we need to do here.
Okay.
From their bottoms. If we're chopping off their extra type if they have one and adding one on, what is the possibility? How would it work? That sort of thing. We're going to skip the Snowball Chance in Hell for very obvious reasons where they really won't be getting anything.
Yep.
And just go from the bottom up. Most likely not.
Yeah, Oscarada, let's start with Psychic type. Real quick. It's the easiest to do.
Yeah.
I could also see possibly a Ghost type.
Because it's already a dark type. The issue is Mr. Mime exists. My thing. Otherwise, I could see it becoming like a street performing mime, like they have in Paris.
See, I wasn't thinking of Mime. I was thinking more of your traditional magician, which is what it doesn't seem to be.
Yeah.
I was thinking more your very traditional basic tricks magician. Not a Mime.
Yeah, Miascarada, I could see Psychic or Ghost, one of those two, just to keep the magician vibe with it. Quackaville. Water flying? I don't know. That one's kind of iffy.
I could see Water Fairy. Did you hear me, B-Rad?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Water Fairy,
I mean,
Water Flying.
Masquerada I could see as a ghost type. It could be.
Yeah, as I said, Ghost or Psychic. Infernape?
Ghost, Psychic really is what I could see.
Infernape would be interesting. I could see it as Ghost. I could see it as Dark. I could see it as Psychic.
The thing is, Infernape is one of the ones that they, rather than just a straight animal, they started putting that on there.
Yep.
And Infernape is Son Goku specifically. But let's state the obvious. He is meant to be the monkey king.
Yep. Which is why I suggested Dark as one.
And Dark is one. He's very thing. You could also see Fairy because he becomes a god-esque thing.
I could see Psychic.
I could see Dark or Fairy. I could see Psychic.
And maybe a bit of Ghost.
Maybe Ghost. Ghost is iffy. I'd see more Fairy or Dark, to be honest.
No, I agree.
Okay. I mean, Infernape now, you kind of like a light side if it had an alternate form, it'd be like a dark version of it. So I see more of a ghost or a dark.
I think it tapped into the
We'll
more
get to
tricky
Skeledirge
side.
in a second. We'll get to Skeledirge in a second.
I definitely think you'd be
Yeah,
looking at the more trickster side of the Monkey King.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
okay.
I said.
That I don't know. We already got a dead monkey. It's Annihilate.
What does dead and trickster have to do with each other?
Ghost. He was talking about ghost.
Oh.
Oh.
I was about to say
Trickster doesn't have to mean ghost. Trickster could mean dark.
yeah.
Okay.
I could see either or because
Okay.
it would be fire ghost anyway. It wouldn't be fighting ghost like Annihilate. So.
Well, okay. Fire Ghost, I don't see because I mean they already did that with Sicilian Typhlosion.
Doesn't mean they won't do it again. We're talking Game Freak. The people who've used the same 3 starter combinations for fucking years.
You got a point. All right.
Like, if we're being realistic here, B-Rad. Anyway.
I was like, how many years did we get firefighting in a row?
3. We almost got it 4.
That wasn't 3 years. That was 3 games.
Or 3 games, but yeah, multiple years.
Okay, yeah, 3 games.
Moving on to Rillaboom. Rillaboom is one of the ones that's pure, and so it's really easy to add on a bunch of different typings depending on where they put him.
I only see
And
2.
so yes, I said it's easy. I didn't say it's possible. Easy.
I see fighting or rock.
I would personally love rock because it's still only held by Cradilly.
Yep.
That is true. Yeah.
I could see as it becoming more callous near the hands and on the chest. You know, that sort of thing.
Well, I could see it carrying around like a bongo that's made out of rock and with a leaf over it as the thing that it's just playing.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of a full drum set like we saw on its G-Max.
Yeah. We get more of a Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Or that, yeah.
Moving on to the next one.
We talked extensively about Primarina already.
Yes, but I don't think they were here. So we're
Psychic, Ghost, and Dark, yeah. Those are the most likely things. Yeah. It taps into the more deadly side of Sirens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, this one is more specifically reliant on the water than the others. The others can walk out. And I just don't think with Callus it's a viable choice.
If it is, the best place, like, normally to find it would be the right before you get into the first part of Ramos' city, how there's like that giant cove area. That's where you put it. Typically. Because it's nice and open. It's cove. It has a very
there are
weird
a few
cave.
Sections with waters where we can fit more water mods.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't think there's a section that fully shows off. The only other place is right before Ramos' city, right there where we normally get the mega Ampharosite.
As I said, best place to do it. Right there in that cove area.
Yeah, because it's our only really extensive area of water.
And it actually makes sense because that's where ships sail into.
Yep. Yeah, it'd be perfect if they put it there, but it wouldn't be a wild mon probably.
It's a start.
Over, so.
Yeah. But it would make sense for it to be in the region at that point.
It would make sense. Moving on to the rabbit. I don't see a possibility other than electric to make sense.
Well,
and I don't see if they add electric how they change it that much. Because electric's what he should have had.
Hold on. Yeah, even their national sport's still soccer. I could see it gaining electric. I could see it gaining fighting.
Instead of being maybe a libero, which is a very specific part of soccer, a goalkeeper instead.
Maybe.
Or a forward.
If
they change that, then if they change which position he's playing, the thought pattern to him changes.
Yeah.
See, I don't know too much about soccer, so I want to
I
know.
don't know
As I said,
a lot.
but I think if they're gonna take something, they're gonna take something that is more either just the animal or is more like Rillaboom, where you could see just the animal until he takes his drone set out.
Yep. As I said, I think fighting and electric are the two main ones for this guy.
If
Yeah.
fighting is possibility, but it deserves electric, and no one can tell me otherwise.
It deserves it, but just talking possibilities.
It
Those are the
deserves
top
it.
two.
Yeah.
James Bond.
Ghost,
James
number
Bond.
1. Let's just throw that out. Ghost is needed. One of two.
Dark is a possibility too,
Yep.
because it's a spy, or it was a spy in this incarnation. It could change,
Now,
but they'll probably
if
keep some
Yeah.
sort of aspect of spy or information gathering.
if you guys want to throw a
Yeah.
huge curveball, make it flying type.
No.
Because I don't know if you've seen it, but with its cape extended out, it almost looks like a jet. Like a wingsuit. So I could see them doing something with that.
It's possible. It's
As I
possible.
said, it's a complete curveball, but it is a absolute possible thing for them to do.
But yeah. But there's only a few types I think fit it while still trying to keep its job
Yep.
of spy.
Yep.
The other two I can see more different possibilities if you change their things.
Correct. For alligator, what we thinking?
I don't. It's really obvious to make it water dark here,
Yeah.
and I think it's really cheap to do.
I was gonna say rock type.
Rock type could work. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
I could see, depending on where they put it, some form of steel type
Maybe.
with its spikes.
I could see it.
I could see it a little. Yeah.
I still think
Yeah.
rock or dark's the number 1 pick and number 2 picks.
No,
but
dark, rock, or steel are the only three I can really see.
Yep.
Yeah.
Moving on, dragon type for superior is the easiest one.
Volcarona got
Yeah.
2, just like Donphan got 2. Otherwise, both of them would be at the top for something.
Yep.
Because Mega Donphan would go hard, and no one can tell me otherwise.
Oh yeah,
Not
for
wrong.
sure.
Superior would be nice.
Superior dragon type. First off,
Dragon.
very
Yeah.
easy transformation into a dragon. Either a long type dragon, with a very floaty-esque appearance,
Or you make it like Dunsparce.
or a serpent-like dragon. Shut the fuck up.
Please no.
What? You don't want a fat superior?
No, stop it.
Yeah, you see this thing right here?
You see, B-Rad's dildo.
No, it looks more like anal bead.
I'm not sure that's helping your image. I'm trying to say water ice or water dragon. I can see dragon. I can't see ice. Or for alligator.
Yeah,
I can't
no.
see. I could see ice more than dragon.
I can't see for ice right now. If they
Yeah.
change it up drastically,
Maybe.
but the thing is, the other ones, while they were drastic color changes, they were very still true to the heart of the model.
Yeah. Superior besides dragon typing. What are we looking at?
Obviously, poison type is
Yeah.
not here.
I would say poison.
Dark, grass dark.
Yeah.
They've been overusing grass dark, so I'd really prefer they didn't.
Grass ground.
Yeah, no.
I could possibly see.
Grass ground with a burrowing snake, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's a few. On to Torterra, the world turtle.
Torterra is the world turtle.
Rock.
Continent turtle.
Rock's the first thing.
Works. Grass rock. Grass rock works. Give him a more mountainous vibe instead of a tree.
I could also see ice type.
Give him, maybe a boulder on the tail.
Make
ice
him an
type,
Ankylo.
Yes. Yeah, make him an Ankylosaurus.
For the rock types.
Gen 2 Digimon with Ankylosaur.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Ice type
has to become quadrupedal.
Yep. And ground type. Yep, there's nothing else.
Yeah.
There's nothing else.
There's no other way to do it justice.
Unless you do rock. Rock's the only other thing that's slightly possible.
Rock is possible. Give it bigger tusks. Have the fire mane go down its back and around like a scarf.
Yeah.
And
instead of like the fire aspect, make it like hot coal instead.
That's also a possibility.
Mm-hmm. There's a few things, but it's only those two typings. It can't be anything else.
Opposite. This one can stand up.
Yep.
I could see him standing up and doing a few different things. One, because of his sugar skull-like thing, I could see them playing into that and doing fairy. It's not likely, but I could see it due to his design being partially a sugar skull.
Believe it or not, I see it for a different reason, but your sugar skull thing works too.
And why is that?
Because it's a singer. All of our singing mons that actually sing have been fairy type. Jigglypuff, Primarina.
Again, a sea turtle is just... We have too many sea turtle mons. Let's put this out there.
Yeah, it's not.
We have too many water turtles. I think changing our one of 3 non-water turtles to a water turtle. 2, there's the other thing is they wouldn't do grass water. It just wouldn't work. So unless they do the absolute crazy bullshit thing of changing the mons completely,
which I doubt,
a complete regional form from the beginning, which is very unlikely, and just swapping types that way, which opens up a whole different can of worms that I'm not ready to get into.
Yeah. No.
And since there's no precedent for it, I don't want to open up that conversation. And don't get me wrong, just because there's no precedent doesn't mean it won't happen.
And we have talked extensively about the top 3. Dragon for Meganium, I could see Poison. Ice, I could see. And Fairy, if you want to push it, I can understand those.
Yeah.
Empoleon, I feel like Ice is the most prominent one for it.
Ice, let its
could maybe see Fairy
longer because it's steel type. Already.
Yep.
Let its blades extend out longer as ice, become more like literal swords.
And I could see Fairy and
turn
fighting.
This into the thing. I could maybe Fairy.
I'm thinking a more prominent Poseidon vibe to it when I say that, by the way.
Yeah, maybe. Moving on to Meganium.
Well, I just went over Meganium before
First
that.
off.
Yeah, we already went over Meganium.
But we gotta talk about it at least a little at this point because we're doing a whole different section now.
I did. I literally did it before you started on Empoleon.
He did.
Oh. Yeah. Well, and then the cat. Another thought process is fire ground immediately.
Yeah, fire ground.
Really fits it. If it wasn't already dark type, fire dark type would fit.
Fire fighting.
I don't want another fire fighting. I don't want it.
No more of those.
I mean, I could still see it happening.
I can see it happening. Doesn't mean I want it. Is my point.
Yeah.
since it's a tiger and we can work it into its pattern, I could see fire electric. If we change a little bit of its pattern.
I could see fire psychic as well.
That's also true.
That could be it.
And even fire fairy, depending on what type of white tiger, like if they want to go into a more white tigerish vibe.
Yeah.
There's a lot they could do.
Well, with how it is, it's like an edgy cat right now. If you go fairy type, it'll be like
it's a wrestling villain right now. Fairy type would turn it into like You're thinking more majestic, sacred tiger of like religions if you're doing fairy type.
Yeah.
So that's our thoughts on what could have forms of starters, what they be, stuff like that. Fire ice, they wouldn't do, Nissa. It's too contradictory.
No.
But with that, we are done now. This was fun. Next time all of us are together, we will be doing our stream. Yay. Of the draft lock, and at least I'll finish.
Draft lock, or if we have Aiden with us, the other one. So, don't die.